This is definitely like a green screen. Episode 3. You are watching the Real Sweet Tea. Let's get into episode 3 of Married to Medicine, okay? Let's go. I remember that scene. Me and Gregory, we were, Gregory's coming home, and I did a whole scene actually in my back. Started off my backyard, and I was cutting trees, and I was actually talking to my plants. And I was like, now I got y'all in formation. I was talking to my plants, and I was watering them and doing yard work. It was just something to do, fun. And so Gregory came home. We actually talked about baby making then. We were talking about that. But, it's just a cute little fun scene. He got to chase me, since he's the dog, I'm the cat. I don't have a green thumb to save my life. Although I come from a long line of farmers, I think my ancestors are very disappointed in me.
Now that you say farmers, are farmers country?
Yeah, farmers are country.
Because Heavenly said that the hee haw, something on the invitation was country, so that had to be you.
Right, yeah. She definitely likes to call me country, but I mean, I feel like country is a good thing. A lot of us country folks are humble. We grew up with humble beginnings. Very simple life. Growing up with my grandparents, I went out, they had cows and chickens and stuff like that. And, they really taught me about hard work. We had to get out there and get it. And I enjoyed it. Like, it really kept me, just a good, well-rounded person. And so I love that I'm country, but I don't know, I don't know. I think maybe she might hate that about me. I don't know. She is from Miami. Definitely gives me thug misses. She gives me she gives me country with a little bit of ratchet and thug misses.
Country ghetto.
Country ghetto. Cause I'm like, well, what are you? What are you? 'Cause I just think it's funny. And then last year, she said that like it was ghetto or something on me doing the whole down. It was something that she said. And I'm like, but look at you. Look at you.
I can't say what I experienced from this because I have not watched this show since the first season. But there were a lot of fun moments. So when you used to talk about on these other sit downs in your Q&As, you're like, you had fun with Contessa and Phaedra and you guys could laugh. Like they gave that for me in this episode. Like what did you feel when you saw this episode?
I was really comfortable doing the episode because I went over to Contessa's house, and Contessa is just someone. She's like a big sister to me because she's a veteran. Contessa, she also is in the medical field, and then with me right now, working in the office and my background, and also being a veteran, she teaches me a lot about the benefits and also on how to process it within the office, running a medical office. And so, just being with Contessa makes me feel comfortable. And then we joke and laugh. We can be serious. And then, of course, you add Phaedra to the mix. We're gonna have a good time. Sitting there at the table at Contessa's house. I was just like, damn. I think they didn't capture enough because I was talking a lot of trash. Talking a lot of trash. And I think that they tried to like, okay, teacher, try not to do too much. I think that they have a certain image of who they want me to portray versus who I really am. They might give y'all a little bit, but that was a really fun scene. We were talking a bunch of crap about everybody.
And speaking of crap, the outfit, when you came in, it was a conversation.
This is a conversational piece. A conversational piece here. And I think that Phaedra, she said that like Willona, if y'all watch Good Times, Willona is a bad bitch. She's a bad mama jama. This is what she was. Okay. And I don't mind being Miss Willona. Rest in peace to Willona.
When you see these episodes and Jackie is just giving birth every day, do you feel like you wish you had that connection with her to be able to talk about things?
I think initially before joining the show, I did want to have that connection with Jackie because of her background. And actually I watched a little bit of reality TV growing up. I watched the Brat I think it was Toni Braxton when she had her baby. And I remember seeing a clip, Tamar had her baby and Jackie was their doctor. And so never that I would imagine being on this show and being able to, share the screen with her. That was never in my plan. But once I got to know Jackie, I think that she is a good person, but I don't like her association with certain people. And I think that Jackie needs to be a little bit more smarter on how she moves and who she associates herself with because of her image. But I really wish that we could have had a closer bond, especially with the journey that I'm going through right now. I just don't really feel as comfortable going to her because of her friendships with certain people in my life that don't support me and that actually put down this journey in my life. They put it down and they disrespect it and they belittle it and they don't really care. And so I wish that we could have a better relationship.
Now, I do know there are a lot of people that I am close with in Atlanta, and Simone has delivered their children. At any point when you guys were cool, does she even offer?
Well, Simone, we've talked about it in the past, and I was like, Simone, it'd be cool for you to deliver my baby and stuff like that. But I think because of the show, because of the friendship that we have, and sometimes it can be a little shaky. And I just rather go to someone outside of, this friend group. I think that would be the best option for me mentally. And that way it's no issue. Because of course I've already tried that with Dennis the Menace. I've already tried that. That didn't work. So it's just that I rather keep those things separate in my life.
So when it comes to having a baby, you're not trying to be an opportunist.
No, no, I'm not trying to be opportunist, but I just want the best for my health and my baby, and I want to mentally be in a good place when that time comes, and I don't want to stress out, and then people leaking your information, all that kind of stuff. Not saying that they would now, other people have, and so I just don't want to risk that. You learn from your mistakes. I'm gonna get comfortable now.
With you and Dr. G. So how does it feel to have like those real, because this is your second season. How does it feel to have those real conversations for the first time? Because sometimes, couples have conversations on their own, but it really seemed like this was your guys' first time.
Yes. It's so funny because right before you came, I was watching the scene when we sat at the table. And that was a real conversation, although of course with this show, we set up scenes and all that kind of stuff. But when we really got into the conversation, I was like, very disappointed because, he's given me 2 years to try to have a baby. And, all of this have me having endometriosis and all that, that had all just came about, right around the time we got married. And so it really hurt me that he brought it up because I'm like, well, you knew what it was when we got together. And I understand that he's getting older. He has his reasonings. He doesn't, because even when we got together, he did say, like, I feel that I just want to make sure I want to be there for you and I want to be able to do things. I don't want you to have to do things on your own and me being left at the house, which I do understand that. And so, but I had told him that he has to live his life to the fullest. He only gets one life and we gotta live for ourselves and live for each other. Like if that's what you want, you better get it. I don't care how old you are. But that was a real conversation, and when I was watching it, I almost like teared up again because with all the things that I've gone through with endometriosis, being on this show and all the different changes I had to adjust to, it was a lot on me last year, and it's still a lot on me. But I really I think that he is going to bend on that. I think that as long as we have a baby, I just right now I'm not in a space where I can think about us adopting kids because I'm 33 years old. That's I've literally just started trying. So like adopting a child is just far fetched. I'm currently undergoing my IUIs. It's intrauterine insemination, and so that's when they take they'll look at your follicles and they'll test the sperm and then they'll insert the sperm in you and all that. But I'm currently taking all these different medications. I'm taking Clomid and taking these vitamins. So many things that go into it, and then I got to do a trigger shot and all that. So I'm on my second round of IUI, and this recently I just had another failed attempt. So, but luckily actually one of my fans reached out to me and said, hey, did you know? Because before I even knew, because we're going to go straight to IVF, I didn't know that my veteran benefits would cover IUI and IVF. And so they right now are covering the IUI and get 6 rounds. And so, I'm in a lot of these Facebook groups with women that are going through the same process that I'm going, and we share different things and different experience that that we're going through. And so I'm all about support groups of any kind. And you never know who you meet. This is the month of December. So I started in October with my first IUI. I started there, and I've been going to Emory, which is a really great hospital. Dr. Kawaz is my doctor. She's amazing. Yeah, this is my second attempt, and it's a lot on me going through this because especially whenever I get to my time when it's time to take a pregnancy test, I don't want to take one because I'm I don't want to be disappointed. And so for a while, I don't think that I was doing it right. I was following the app, but I was just following my app, but then I just started taking these ovulation tests, and then I finally was getting positives and stuff like that. And so I was like, okay, it's time to throw it back. It was time to throw it back. Of course we did what we had to do. I still haven't been able to get pregnant, but I'm hoping, fingers crossed with the IUI. I have 4 more tries, and I'm waiting for the VA to actually approve my case for endometriosis. And if it is approved, they will actually grant me with 3 IVF treatments. If you got to get to the next. Yes, yes. Okay. So I'm super excited about that. But until then, I just got the 6 rounds, and I'm trying to stay optimistic. Like, it is. I do get emotional. My twin sister just had a baby. She has her 3-month-old, and just looking at how those kids look at my sister, and how that's a different type of love. They have that unconditional love from their mama, and that's a love that I am yearning for. I was wondering how they were going to do the trip because I was like, how is that going to work? Because I don't think it's going to work with just one person planning the trip. Everybody is at odds right now. I mean, I didn't know. And so when they were like, me and Contessa and Phaedra are going to plan the trip, I was like, okay, I can see that makes sense because, Phaedra, she's kind of neutral. She's not that cool with Quad, but she is cool with the rest of the cast. And then it was like Contessa can invite Quad because, of course, they have a friendship. It was weird because and then you see Contessa doesn't get along with Heavenly, but she's kind of still cool with Simone, and she's kind of still cool with Jackie. And so it was a very interesting way how we had to plan it. And then Phaedra kind of felt like Toya was being messy, so Contessa is still cool with Toya. I'm cool with Toya. So it was a way that we all had to go. We already knew we had to go. We just had to make it work. That's what it boils down to. I just know Phaedra, she kept on saying that she wanted to, like, we need to hash this thing out. We need to hash this thing out before we go because I already know it's going to be some mess. And I think Phaedra, she talks about more so like coming from the housewives culture. And she saw how messy last year was, and I think she was seeing how messy it was getting going into this season. And so she was like, it would be best for us to hash our issues. Let's try something different. Because what I don't like is when we get together and we try to play all kumbaya and hee hee ha ha. It just does not make sense. That's what I'm like. I think that we all can learn from each other because it's too many people trying to play producer. It's too many people trying to play producer. I think that we can all learn from the people coming in, and I can learn from people going out. I think Gregory's a little worried about me going away with the trip, of course, with his ex-wife. Because last year I didn't even have to film like that with her. She was just randomly popping up. But like this year, so this year we actually did have to film with each other. And so I think that he was worried. He didn't want us to fight. Like that was one thing that he didn't want. He told me to avoid any conflict because he felt like, that's how she is going to feed off of you in a way that kind of keeps her alive on the show. And so that's a part of the reason why I didn't go to birthday party because everybody's like, well, you should have popped up the birthday party and all that kind of stuff. And I had heard it was at her home, and I was like, no, I really don't feel like it makes sense because if something were to happen, which I felt like, even though this is a show, but I do feel like if something were to happen, we would be held liable. Someone can call the police on, because if somebody run up on me, somebody can get.
But it's so I guess let's try to make it clear that if you were to come to an event, you're not coming to room because they went into the scene like her and the boy. No drama happened. Like, why would drama happen even if you popped up?
She was expecting me to come. That from what I heard from another producer.
But are you like, why would I? You would come with a gift. Like, why would I?
There was no reason for me to come. That's why in the scene I was like, I really don't give a damn. And so you see, Toya trying to say, well, you shouldn't single people out. Like Toya, I think that she gets too wrapped up into producing again, and she's not. And although the audience is smart at the same time, like they can tell, like, why would she do that? Why would she invite her? Why would she come?
Yeah.
And so I just think that honestly, I just felt like it wasn't the best decision for me to go. It just was not because I heard it was going to be at the house. And it just was not, I wasn't going to roll up at nobody's house uninvited just because producers told me to do so.
Yeah.
Because something were to happen, just like I've seen in other reality shows, police have been called, and producers cannot protect you in that environment. I don't think.
Yeah.
I actually have a lot of things to lose. I actually have a career. So.
Well, that's the other thing. Somebody asked me today. They were like, "Does she have a job?" I was like, "Why do people feel you don't have a job? You make it very clear that you work."
Yes, I do. Yeah, I work for the government. I just don't talk about what I do because I do have a clearance and stuff like that I have to uphold. But it's not everybody's need to know what I do. Just know that a bitch be working. That's all you need to know. It's really funny to me and how they play things out, which is really untrue on how they make it seem like I'm a gold digger. And so like even like once me and Toya actually had an argument in her house, and it was in a scene and they didn't play it, but she was all like, oh, you need to own this whole access to the money thing. And so I pulled out my t-shirt and I said, I do. It's trademarked. I said what I said and I own it, baby.
So really, how many cast members are there? 8. So out of the 8 people, 3 of them don't work to our knowledge. I guess, Toya, Phaedra, and Quad.
I think Phaedra actually does work. She has her own law office. Like she actually is.
She's still okay.
She's doing that. Yeah. But yeah, I think the rest of them, yeah, they don't work. And I had told Toya, I was like, I'm the only wife, well, considered the wife on the show that actually works.
Well, because some of the bloggers were putting out their videos and they feel like there's a disrespect of the hazing that happens. And then, like, it happened with Toya, it happened with Quad, now it's happening with you, where they don't respect you because you don't work in the medical field, and like you're just this housewife, and it's like you still work at the end of the
Yeah, I don't know why they do that because even there was times during the scenes that we did when I didn't feel like they respected my work hours, and so there's times that I was here with my computer and they've been here and they see that. And so, which is really funny, is it's like, hello, like you see me trying to take the time to work over here and also fool with you at the same time. So it's just like it frustrates me because it's like, okay, let's not get beside ourselves. I was a pharmacy tech in the Air Force, and I worked for a toxicology lab. I also did a little bit of medical billing when I worked for the Department of the Air Force. I worked in the sleep lab. I've done a couple of things within the medical field, and so, and I also went to school. My background is business, and so that's why I've been helping a lot in Gregory's office because I know a little bit about something, a little about a piece of fun. That's what they say. But also, not only that, I'm associated with medicine, but also I was actually married to medicine.
Well, I can say it looks like you're going into the trip on the positive note because you mentioned that Dr. G felt like you and Quad could get into it, but in your green screens, you're happy, like she's got a man. Like,
Yes, I'm celebrating that she has a man because I really do want her to move on because I think that will take the tension off of like the way she feels off of us because like when we were in New York we definitely did have a spat, we were back and forth, and if you are so happy, why is the animosity towards me if anything? And so I know that Gregory, you say that he was this and that and all that kind of stuff, but I have to look at your actions and look at how you're moving, and I have to look at how you treat me, and I don't have a dog in this fight, and I don't even know you like that. And so it's just like, you know, what I'm not going to stand for is you constantly disrespecting my husband in my presence. And it's just like he ain't even around that much, and he got to be the topic of conversation, and that I don't understand.
well, that's what some of the people online were confused. How did they come into this season? They didn't know that there was a fight or argument that happened at the reunion. They're like, well, why is this still?
Right, well, between me and her, because she went on a clown tour with the dentist, and they went and started to talk about me, and then Heavenly did her best after, because I refused to really give Quad anything, but Heavenly, she tried to really make something out of nothing. Like for example, my house tour, she was trying to say, oh, you're in her old home and all this kind of stuff, and I'm like, like it was one, Quad was never mentioned in my house tour. She never was mentioned. And so it was just like,
they're taunting you.
yes, it was like, I'm gonna make something, I'm gonna make nothing out of something is what I really felt, because I was like, I never mentioned you, because she had mentioned it at the reunion and she was talking about, yeah, being in her old house and stuff like that. And I'm like, what do you care? You're in a nice home now. Why does it matter that I'm here? You're bothered.
Yeah.
You're bothered. I mean, is it my big titties? What is it? Is it that I got your ex man? Like, is it that the house that you had, you're not happy in it? It's just like,
Yeah, because people are bothered by, like, well, what does Kawhi have to be jealous of? So even if that is not the word you're saying, she last year throughout, which was still this year, the reunion, all of this was springtime, summertime. She was still jabbing at you. So is it for the show, or is it for she really felt some type of way?
mm, I think that is a little bit, I think it's both. I think that she still feels some kind of way because, again, like I mentioned in the last episode of her trying to, reach out to Gregory and be a friend and ask for favors, is just, I think that she just misses the stability of having someone there, something to fall back on. Although maybe she may not like the man, but didn't she say about, she was talking about, her dude's a provider. And her dude's a pay for the event or something like that. So it's like, those are the things that are important to her, I believe.
One thing that stuck out to me was, like I said, I don't watch the show, but they had a flashback last episode of her running outside with that red sports car for her birthday. And she was like, they were like showing Quad always does it big for her birthday. Like it was a flashback of her running outside getting a car. She was screaming. She had her little carnival outfit on. So when he comes up with the car, she's just like, oh.
I didn't know that. So you're saying that there was a flashback of her getting a car that was on this episode?
No, last week.
I missed that.
So last week, some seasons ago, she bought herself a car for her birthday, and then this episode that is out now, well, that's coming out, Kirk buys her a car or presents her with a vehicle, but she doesn't seem as happy with the vehicle that Kirk
shake and
presented her with.
She didn't seem that happy.
It's almost like she knew about it already.
I would just say she's just up to the same tricks. The same tricks, just different day. Let's not recycle the same storyline and then adding a man to it and then putting the cherry on top. I personally, that's how I feel. I hope that that relationship is genuine, but I did hear that he's a car transporter, and that is that a car transporter, and I heard around her actual friend groups, nobody knew she actually got a car, but I really think that was just for the show. Woo! Yeah, I think that some of the cast tried to latch on to Phaedra because of the stardom that she has because of her being on Housewives. I know some people that want to be over there so bad. it's funny to watch because I saw that, her and Carl were trying to bait Phaedra, and this is like, that's what they did to me. But anytime they do that, it just let us know that, like, we the bad bitches here. Like, the fact that y'all got to come together and Wonder Twin Tower deactivate, it sucks. Like, like y'all got to come on, watch what happens live together, try to attack somebody, and then still get lower views than me. The views.
You said that basically Heavenly is upset that Phaedra's not answering her calls. Do you think that she feels away because
Her call.
No, she ain't been answering her calls.
Why is she?
So do you think that Heavenly feels away that Phaedra answers your calls?
Yeah. And you get invited to the parties
Maybe.
on the other show.
I know, on the other show. I think so. I think that's why a lot of times I feel like some of the cast do kiss Phaedra's ass, and but it's for a reason to get to wherever she's at, because I think that they really they want a piece of that startup. They want a piece of that cake.
Well, someone said she didn't apologize. She admitted to starting stuff with you.
We had a conversation a while back, and I called her and I said, "Hey, I don't like this shit that you doing, because it's not cute. One, you too old. Let's start there. You too old for this. You look messy as hell doing that." And so it was just like, all this for what, promotion of the show and all that, or for your YouTube channel. And so I just thought that was weird. And so it was like around Halloween. It was last year, 2023. Actually, before the show even
I was
started.
about to say you did a whole season.
Yeah, I know. And then, like, before the show aired, she, like, around BravoCon, she was like just doing weird shit, and I was just like, oh, okay, whatever. But also, like, even when we were at BravoCon, she was starting all this stuff about me being in Quiet Old House and all that. And then, like, I remember us doing a panel, and she was talking about how she wanted to. It was like, I think it was like Mary Love, Mary Kill, or something like that, or Mary Kill Shag or whatever. And it was like, Kill Me, and I'm like, oh, okay. And I don't really understand that, because a lot of times, even this season, I'm like, what's going on? Y'all got Stockholm syndrome? Everybody just sitting there used to the abuse. So it's just like, I don't get it. Like, and then, well, that's just her. That's just her. No, hold her accountable. Hold her accountable. Y'all, what y'all don't make sense is y'all trying to hold Quad accountable, but then this girl be doing some F shit, and then you guys don't want to hold her accountable, which makes no sense. And that's so annoying. It's just like gaslighting to the fullest.
When it comes to the trips, and now that you're part of the Bravo celebrities, when you do BravoCon and the different Watch What Happens Lives and interviews and press for Bravo, you see some of these other shows, you see these extravagant out of the country trips. How do you feel they treat you guys over here on Married to Medicine?
I feel like I'm Annie, just pass me the red wig. I'm waiting for Daddy Warbucks. I'm just waiting to become save the damn thing. Because I was like, whenever I came, I was like, damn, I thought it was going to be a little better than this. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like getting on a plane, and then on the outside it looks nice and all that. And you're like, oh, you didn't get ready. And then you get in there, your spirit chairs. And you just, like, ah, damn. It's going to be a bumpy air ride. How I see it says, Heavenly says you were following her around at Whitney before you approached Damon. Girl, what the hell am I following you around? If you watch the show, if you actually watch the show, we'll see who following who. We'll see who following who. We'll see who copying who. Yeah, you watch close to the show and you'll see who's gonna follow who to where. Actually, Sheena, you got that video, don't you? Of her, wasn't she trying to be dancing behind me and stuff on stage? Yes. Who following who? Because you sure was trying to wait for me to back that ass up. She was waiting for me to, and I just rolled my eyes. Because it reminded me of, how you see some ugly, you in the club, you see an ugly dude behind you. That's what it was. That's what it's giving. You know it was she. Because I was like, who was more reckless as a child? I would say it probably was me. And we were both good kids. But when I wanted to do something, I was going to do it. And I was going to take the risk. The consequences that I received it was terrible, okay? My sister, I think that Kanisha, she's a lot more grounded. And although my sister is only 26 minutes older than me, I looked up to her. What are you doing outside Married to Medicine in terms of your brand? There's so many things that I want to do in terms of my brand. Of course, I have my brand, Sweet Tea & Co. I actually got it trademarked. I'm looking to release out a tea soon. I had a few teas that I was going to release, but I did not feel comfortable because my supplier, they weren't giving me what I needed. I've kind of taken a break because I've been helping a lot in Gregory's office because, of course, as a wife, we are a man's helpmate. And so I've been doing a lot of work there. But I'm still working to get my teas out as soon as possible. I'm hoping that I'll have it out in the next a month or two. I hope no longer than that. But also, not only that, like I work a full-time job. I actually started a nonprofit. It's called NOMO, National Outreach for Menstrual Optimism. Because of my endometriosis and my menstrual pain I went through, I want a positive outlook on women's menstrual cycles. But yeah, I mean, I do a lot of different things, and I got a lot of other things that will come out in the future. I just can't release it yet.
So it ends with, do you think we always resort to mama? I said it was Mariah, it was with Contessa, it was with you. And, I'm not a shrink, but on the outside looking in, for you as her friend or acquaintance, like, what do you think the your mama is really coming from?
I personally think that she just ain't got no comeback. She just doesn't have a comeback, and I honestly think that her mama probably wasn't really there like that for her. It really comes off like that based off of like her history and stuff like that and how she grew up. I think that her mama didn't do her right. I really do, for her to just come out and say that. I think at first it was a comeback, but like coming up this next episode, and then also not even just the next episode, things that she said in the past, and she didn't give a dang about how her mom, as we get into the next episode, I don't know how they gonna edit this, but y'all gonna think differently about whenever we were on that live and she was talking about go to hell, and that's what I heard, and she said, and I said, your mama there. Y'all gonna feel different about that this coming episode. Let's just say that. You're gonna feel different. It's gonna piss you off. That's for sure. And she meant what she said. The Real Sweet Tea, that is it. Thank you for watching. I hope you guys really enjoyed the background of it all. Because I want to be transparent as much as I can, because I want to give y'all the reality here. And so I hope you enjoyed this. Make sure you like, you subscribe, and hit the notification bells to get any updates about the Real Sweet Tea. Hopefully you guys get to see some blogs soon too. But you guys enjoy. Happy holidays. Oh, my nutcrackers. These are my nutcrackers. As you know, you guys have seen them on the show on the first episode. And I got these from at home. And me and Gregory, this is right before we got married, and I thought these were the cutest thing. And this looked like Gregory, don't it? It looked just like Gregory. I was gonna go get some glasses made to put it on on his face, because I just look like. Now this don't really look like me, and I usually don't wear my hair like that. But hey, I was like, this is good enough. I thought it was the cutest thing. Some my cute little nutcrackers. As you can see, my beautiful tree that I did. I want to get more Merry Christmas little things and put them on, ornaments and put them on here. I just thought it was the nicest thing. I love the colors. I love how it blends in with my couch. A lot of ornaments I got from at home. Some of the ornaments I actually made. I got some ornaments from the Dollar Tree, and I actually made them myself. And yeah, just to sprinkle a little expensive, sprinkle a little, Dollar Tree in there. And look what
You got highs and lows.
You got highs and lows, right? And it's still beautiful. But I'm still working on my tree. I'm not done because I was supposed to put more ribbon in it. I grew up, my mom was very festive, especially when it came to the holidays. She loves decorating. And so I really want to make my home come alive, and I want to give it the Christmas spirit, because sometimes me and Greg would both be working and we be in here humbugging. So I want you guys to really just see like who for me and what I like to do.